As you probably know, zoologists are actively working to learn as much as possible about every living being on our planet. The habits, lifestyle, and behavior of animals can be fascinating and even shocking. In our today's episode, you will witness the most amazing moments from their lives captured on camera. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel not to miss even more interesting episodes. This predator has either found a victim that was too tough for it, or simply wants to get a secluded place to eat it. This humpback whale was suddenly found right near the pier. This is the unique technique that the whale uses during the meal. It swims with its mouth open into a flock of fish or plankton, swallowing food along with water. Albinism is an amazing rare phenomenon, a gene malfunction that occurs in both humans and animals. Some of them are quite familiar to us, but have you thought that there are albino snails? Did you know that there is a breed of goats that falls into a complete stupor and falls on its back or sideways with its legs outstretched in emergency situations? Fainting goats suffer from a rare genetic disease. It is called myotonia. A goat faints when it is in danger of life, when it sees a lot of adored food, and when it meets an attractive partner of the opposite sex. At this point, it suffers from complete muscular paralysis, and it loses its ability to move for 10 to 15 seconds. Surprisingly, the animal absolutely does not experience any pain and remains fully conscious at the same time. Camels have to live in difficult climatic situations, and it's difficult to call their diet diverse and nutritious. Perhaps that is why these animals have a superpower. They can eat cacti without damaging the oral cavity. The fact is that they have special protection, namely that device on the cheeks. On its inner side, there are dense bumps that are not damaged by any thorns. The tongue of camels is also quite rough, so it does not feel the pricks. Turtles are omnivorous animals, meaning they willingly eat both plant and animal food. The young man began to treat them to quite familiar food for a person: watermelon, cuttlefish, and bananas. As you can see, everything was eaten in a matter of seconds. The guy was so busy with his task that he fell into the pond. The main thing is that the turtles did not perceive him as nutritious prey. It's a shame when your life depends on the speed of movement and you are one of the slowest creatures on Earth. Perhaps that's why turtles often just hide in their shell. Do you also think that their mouths are open for a reason and that they are waiting for their next victim? In fact, they do this not at all for an intimidating appearance, but to avoid excessive overheating. Alligators are dangerous predators and they do attack people, but this does not bother the young man at all. He lovingly embraces and even lifts a huge reptile. Sure, they had known each other long before, otherwise it's unlikely that the bear would have spared the enemy and the man would have decided on such a spectacular duel. Usually if brown bears fight, they do not cause much harm to each other. Another thing is, if this fight is a consequence of competition for a female, then they can seriously injure themselves. A tall and beautiful giraffe gives the impression of an absolutely peaceful animal, but if necessary, it can and will fight. As you can see, the main weapon is its neck. They are swinging them, trying to hit each other and knock them down. The goal of a giraffe during a fight is to knock down an opponent. Interestingly, females never take part in such activities, they prefer to observe. It seems that the ostrich has some claims about the baby. At the same time, it can be a game, and the giraffe just found a friend who is ready to run with it for days. Take a look at how difficult it is for him to stay in this position and how carefully he pushes the lost turtle. The Amazon pink river dolphin is naturally famous for its pink color. It is born gray, but as it grows up, it acquires such an unusual shade. In addition to the color, it has special vertebrae that allow it to swim among the trees, bending at an angle of 90 degrees. Its mouth is longer and its forehead is much more rounded than that of other dolphins. It can be found not only in the Amazon jungle, but also in the Indian Ganges, the Indus in Pakistan, as well as in Argentina and Uruguay. Usually no one except the bride can wear white to the wedding. At this celebration, an exception was made to the rules. A cute and friendly dolphin is very happy to chat with new friends and show its best tricks. The horse is a symbol of vitality, grace, power, and fascinating dynamic movement. There are about 10,000 of these only beautiful animals on this field at the same time. Just imagine the noise of their hooves. Friendship with rabbits has affected this horse too much. A rich life is different. It turns out that a festive dinner for a horse can look something like this.
If you want to switch to something else, don't be hurry. Something truly interesting is just about to begin.
As you can see, this guy wants to support Mother Nature. Having poured out the grain on the ground, it remains to wait for a few minutes. As hungry parrots fill everything around. They immediately begin their meal, and only happy chirping can be heard around. It is considered that snakes are dangerous, but birds are rather harmless. This video shows the reverse side of the coin because the victim is a snake. It's not often you see a bird not stealing something, but on the contrary, contributing to the family budget. Wolf spiders have a special attitude towards offspring. After the birth of babies, the female takes them to its belly and carries them until they are able to get food on their own. Despite their modest size, the sloth bear is considered one of the most dangerous bears in the world. Zoo staff will have to try very hard to separate them and remain unharmed. Everyone knows that bears love honey, but few people know how to find an approach to treat them, and at the same time remain unharmed. Have you ever seen so many beautiful fish in one place? One can only imagine the delight of the baby, who gladly began to feed and felt her power over them. Although he is not Moses, he can move this imaginary sea consisting of ducks. As soon as the birds see their owner walking with a bag on his back, they immediately give way to him. And all because they know that their lunch is waiting for them. Hungry eels use any opportunity to eat a little. The hippopotamus is one of the largest land animals, but it can't be called a good fat guy. The fact is that sometimes males mercilessly kill babies of other species. This adult behemoth, who was at least 6 years old, took only 2 minutes to deal with the baby. This seabird looks more like a soft fairy tale toy with funny sea green paws. Its name is the blue-footed booby, and it lives on the Galapagos Islands. The little penguin made the tourists happy with its presence. It not only approached the boat, but climbed on it, greeted everyone, and was happy to pose for photos. It's curious what the person on the kayak felt at that moment, and whether he believed his happiness when he saw and felt the presence of a whale. For many people, it's a really terrible nightmare to be surrounded by so many jellyfish. Anyway, ants are really very strong and smart insects.
What an incredible footage! We always strive to choose the best content for you.
Few people would like to be in the midst of hungry predators. The experience of these brave souls shows that it is not a problem if you have something to offer animals in return, for example, meat. After seeing such a tasty treat, leopards were no longer interested in people. Cheetahs are famous for their speed and ability to make incredible jumps. They can be very affectionate like all cats. This cheetah decided to make friends with the photographer, although the predator is cunning and just wants to taste him. The fight of these moose took place right in the street of the city. The locals had a chance to see up close how the animals use their horns to attack the enemy. The energetic cow decided to take revenge on the flies for constantly pestering it. What a great pastime for all lazy and very tired living beings. This dog could have suffered if it hadn't done the incredible. It performed an amazing somersault. Maybe it was the adrenaline in its blood that affected it. The buffalo just wanted to sunbathe and take mud baths when suddenly the lion ruined everything by attacking it. However, the bighorned creature does not even think to give up. These small, short-legged and short-tailed toad-like lizards use a very original way to scare off predators. They shoot them in the eyes with their own blood. Most often, predators do not notice them due to skillful camouflage, but if necessary, a stream of blood escapes from the ocular capillaries under high pressure. Coyotes and lynxes can't stand the taste of toad lizard blood. Apparently, it releases some kind of toxin under the action of receptors, which they do not like. Usually, the barking of a dog scares away oncoming people, but not this iguana. The dog definitely did not expect such a reaction and had to run away. smooth coating may appeal to people, but reptiles are not adapted to it. The rams are fighting, colliding with the horns with a deafening crash. Surprisingly, after such a blow, the animal was able to quickly get to its feet. Sheep are stubborn animals. Even a fence doesn't stop them if they start a fight. This conflict needs to be considered in detail. With all the obvious differences in size, it's difficult to say who will win. Please note that as soon as the goat was about to use its horns, the rooster used them as a support and flew over its head. Despite their huge size and dangerous appearance, rhinos can be quite cute. Two things are striking in these shots: the courage of the goat and the moonlight walk of the rhinos. This behavior of huge animals can be explained by the fact that they are not interested in such prey because they do not eat meat. The cunning duck kept leaving the tiger discouraged, and it never realized that it would never get it today. How did it happen that the smoke detector turned into a cat feeder? It's hard to even imagine how bored the cat is with this duck. All it can do is constantly avoid it because their meetings always end the same way. At first, the deer was even charmed by a small kitten, but then it decided that the baby was too annoying. The cat just wanted to enjoy the fresh air, but it could not find peace in solitude. The rooster showed its neighbor in the yard that it was not welcome there. Maybe the rooster behaved too confidently, so it was punished. The dog does not tolerate arrogant upstarts, so it puts them in their place. You can't approach the horse from behind, everyone knows that. But the goose decided to try its luck, and it was a huge mistake. Scooters are becoming more popular, and it seems that they are spreading around the world at lightning speed. That's who should collect huge hauls of fans. Let's hope he at least gets bonuses for such a talent. Have you ever seen a stingray eating fish? It's a very nice sight. I would not like to accidentally touch this plant so that its inhabitants move to their own bodies. It's okay to take a pet with you, but you need to be prepared for the fact that others will be horrified by its presence. In public transport, it is even an advantage. The mother gorilla tried as best she could to protect itself and the baby from the aggressive attack of extraneous males. Fortunately, the baby's father managed to intervene in time. He showed the monkeys their photos, but they did not appreciate their appearance on them. Flamingos fascinate with their beauty and unusual appearance, and they also have very funny ways to attract females. They gather in large groups and arrange a dance performance. For flamingos, the choice of a couple is important since they are monogamous and choose a companion for life. There's something magical about being surrounded by seagulls on the beach at night. However, as soon as they realize that the guy has no food, they will immediately be disappointed and fly away. The peculiarity of the appearance of this kitten did not prevent it from becoming beloved by its owners and popular on social networks. Living side by side with the most dangerous predators for years, you get used to them and know how to behave correctly. When the owner of the forest wandered into someone else's territory, it is hardly expected to meet someone who is able to fight back. In a fight with an opponent, the lion has an advantage in its mobility and resourcefulness. Besides, the bear turned out to be young and inexperienced for such a duel. Hyenas are the real antagonists of the lion in the savannah. They tried to defeat one lioness with their number, but it was not ready to give up so easily. Only the most experienced and brave divers can boast of self-control at such a meeting. The Galapagos Islands are famous for their extraordinary inhabitants. The marine iguana is one of them. It's the only lizard that can live in the ocean and, despite its formidable appearance, is not dangerous to humans. Researchers claim that there is a constant confrontation of the strongest predators of the seas and oceans. According to them, if killer whales appear in the hunting area of great white sharks, they immediately swim away. And if they do meet, then the killer whales surround the shark and attack the predator with strong blows of their tails. Sharks surrounded the crocodile to steal its food, but karma still caught up with one of the predators and punished it. The rhinoceros with a child faced 3 even larger representatives of the animal world. The elephants did not want to enter into a conflict and demonstrated their intellectual abilities by using sticks to simply scare off rivals. The elephant no longer wanted to walk and burden its own feet. The giant approached the bus and tried to find a place in it. The passengers jumped up in horror and waited for the situation to end. The elephant decided that it was time to visit the neighbors and see if they had treats for it. All stingrays have a flat body shape that allows them to snuggle close to the bottom, where they easily disguise themselves from predators and find prey. They have powerful jaws with which they easily split the shell of a crab. At the same time, one 4-meter stingray can eat 50 crabs per day. The cat had to pay for its curiosity. The crab's claws were really precise and scared it a lot. Pandas have become popular all over the world because of their charm. At the moment, there are only about 2,000 individuals left in the wild. They are quite rare, so scientists are still studying their behavior. Pandas are sedentary animals that sleep for 12 hours a day, and the rest of the time, especially in the morning, are busy eating bamboo. We can safely call them introverts. They are quiet, loving to spend time alone, and pandas try to interact with each other as little as possible. In countries with a tropical climate, a variety of living creatures are found at every step.
A lot more peaceful. They didn't jump at me, actually. No, stop.
If you can't find a company to play basketball, you can always teach a new friend your favorite game. Obviously, this is not the first snake in his life. The main thing is to not panic and clear movements in order to avoid an accident. In fact, not all dogs can swim. Some are afraid or just don't like, but there are also those whose ability to dive underwater is amazing. They say that the most beautiful snakes are poisonous, therefore, holding this beauty can be deadly. This is not an escape from a chicken coop, but a much more serious scam. As of today, biologists are convinced that friendship between a crocodile and a human is impossible, but still, there are stories that prove them wrong. After the death of their parents, this baby from Brazil found a dangerous company and began to communicate, play, and spend time with reptiles. At the same time, these crocodiles became attached to her and even allowed her to ride on their backs. There are rumors about a very strange case that happened once in Romania. Locals were walking through the forest and came across an unprecedented creature lying unconscious. It looked terrifying with 2 heads and horns. People called a priest and a veterinarian for help. These two decided to solve this problem on their own. As you can guess, no one has heard anything more about the terrible beast. What kind of mythical animal was found in the forest then? What's your opinion?
And our episode has come to an end, and we hope that you enjoyed watching this video. We look forward to your questions and comments. Thank you for always being with us.